Hello, Amanda. We're back.
Hi, Karen.
Karen? Are
Oh,
we going to say hi to Ken, too?
Yes.
no.
And to Barbie.
R/whoosh.
Okay, so.
Sil looks down at the slime all over his chest and his arms and walks back over toward his room, and he's gonna go clean up.
Okay. And with that, Lotrix is going to regard the other three. Kind of, doesn't seem too interested in the tiefling with the who's eating the makeshift potato soup. He's more kind of interested in Elnira and Kree. And just goes, do you know what you have in your possession? Have you had anybody actually look at that?
Who, me or the lizard man?
Yes. I'm referring to the crown that he is currently covering up with the pumpkin, and that particularly nefarious scepter that you have tucked away, that I can sense.
I have not done anything with it. We realized that it's cursed. I have not used said weapon, and the lizard guy is just an idiot. He put it on his head, and it's just shrunk to his head size.
Well, I would strongly urge you not to give him the scepter. If that's probably a strange question, but can I take a quick look at it if you don't mind? I could probably tell you a bit more about it.
Can I roll to make sure he ain't gonna steal it?
Yeah, you can roll an insight.
Okay, I'm gonna roll insight. Let me just pull up my character sheet.
Thunder skills.
Oh, I got a decent roll.
Yeah, he, as best you can tell, he seems like he's being pretty genuine. He just kind of seems to be more curious about it.
Alright, so
he has an inkling of understanding that there's that there's something about it, but he wants to go look at it.
Alright, so I go ahead and pull it out and hand it to him.
Okay. Alright.
In the meantime, Sylvester comes back out. He's got a towel, and he looks like his hands and stuff and face are a little damp, and he's drying off. He tucks the towel into it, and he comes back over, and he sees Elnra hand the scepter over to
Lotrix.
Roderick's, and he said, "You sure you want to do that?" He said, "You sure you want to do that? He's not known for honesties."
It's fine. We trust Mattress.
Shut up, lizard.
With that, he does take the... I mean, he might have moments of speaking common. And with that, Lotrix takes the scepter reluctantly and just kind of stares at it. And
if you are going to investigate this, do you want the blessing of the all-knowing one?
No.
I'm offering to cast guidance on him.
Yeah, no, I know. And with that, he'd be like, I think I've seen enough. I don't think I want any more. And he just kind of with a shaking hand, just puts it down on the table, and he just looks over at Elizabeth and he's like, I don't think I want to touch that crown. Yeah, that was, I kind of had some visions recently of a particularly murderous, paranoid, Grey Dwarf who had murdered a great deal of his kin over greed. And, it was with those two objects. And through that particular act, it seems to have cursed both of those when he was eventually killed. But that scepter has quite a bit of blood on it in its history.
The blood in the guts.
Sil looks at him and he says, "Dwarf," and he looks over at Azra. I wonder if Azra knows anything about this story.
With that, he kind of just hears the mention of, his name and, about the dwarf, and kind of makes his way over, and he's just like, gray dwarves. I can't say I know anything about gray dwarves, really. I mean, I'm more one of the surface ones. That's nothing I'd really be too familiar with. And eventually, Lotrix would just kind of like, it would just come to him as he just says, "Oh, it was strangely Briarbeard, I think. Yeah, Briarbeard." And Ezrin just looks at him and just utter confusion and is just like, "You really don't pay nearly enough to be drinking in here." And he just goes back by the bar. And after that, when he just goes back to his spot over by the bar, Lotrix eventually gets up from the table, and he looks to still be trembling from the horrors of the vision that he had seen, and he's just like, I think I'm just gonna call it an early night, because that was that was a bit much for me, I feel. And Sil would at least probably not be too surprised that he has a room here at the inn.
As he walked by me, I would definitely keep a lookout for religious symbols on his body.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if you want to give me an investigation or perception, whichever you prefer.
Whichever I prefer. That is a generous way of speaking.
Yeah,
where is
I generally will do that, especially since you guys are low levels and,
Yeah.
all that.
21.
Okay.
Lucky me.
Nice. All right. You would have seen a sigil on the inside of the collar of his robes.
Okay.
That is kind of like very faintly embroidered in silver. That appears to be a single eye. That you would at least know of, just more from the region, was a cult of people that, you wouldn't have necessarily, like, you'd recognize the sigil, but you wouldn't really be able to necessarily place the name off the top of your head. But it was a group of people that more or less kind of believed that they were seers.
I
Okay.
Whether-
slither off into the hallway.
Okay. Alright, so you're slithering off into the hallway.
Yes.
Okay. So eventually Jillian would kind of make her way over to the group, and she has, a set of keys, because I believe Sil, didn't you say for her to also, like, for them to have rooms and all that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And so she would, in fact, have, 3 copper keys available, and she would make her way over to the table, and she would just place the 3 keys down and just kind of more or less, like, I don't know if you want to maybe give the one to the man with the pumpkin, but he can have one of those. And just for the sake of knowing, that's a room that's available. That's a room that's available, and that one.
Okay.
So those keys would be for those 3 rooms. basically just rooms that have chests are basically ones that are already occupied.
Okay, I get it. Mhm.
Yeah.
I'll take a key and thank her profusely.
Alright. Okay.
I take a key as well.
Alright.
Taking a couple sips from my tea. Thank you.
Okay.
And I see that the little guy's gone, and a key for him is on the table. So I go over to the table and I pick up the key.
Alright.
And then I follow him into looking for him to give him the key.
Okay. Quiz check. What are you doing?
I slip the pumpkin off of my head and I lay it on the floor here.
Okay.
And then I slam the door loudly, but then make my way over here.
The bathroom
Okay.
door.
Yes.
Hold on, let me just see if there's actually a little pumpkin thing that I have here.
So what brings you to Brookhaven, Alnara?
That's a really big pumpkin.
I'm not even entirely sure. I got separated from the rest of my group because the lizard decided to play with an obviously demented portal thing through his meat in there, and I tried to stop him and we both fell in. And
That sounds unfortunate.
I don't know where we are. I don't know if we went back in time or forward in time. I'm just really confused, and I'm frustrated and angry with the lizard.
Yeah, I get that.
But you seem okay, and so does Syl. He seems pretty cool.
Okay.
We do what we can.
Alright. Syl, would you like to give me, I guess, a perception check to see if you can find Quiz check? Because you're kind of looking around for.
He accidentally steps on the pumpkin that he sees on the ground, but
Yeah.
My art.
Oh no, it's been
Yeah.
flattened.
Hey, that fits.
That is a tiny ass pumpkin.
Hold on, give me a second. There.
Yeah, perfect.
flat everywhere, and he starts cussing. So he goes to his room because he don't see the little guy. He thinks maybe he missed him, or maybe he's still in the bathroom.
Okay.
Okay, so
He goes to his room and tries to scrape the crap off of his feet from the pumpkin.
I have thieves' tools, right?
Yes.
So can I get into this room in front of me?
Yes. So it is a sleight of hand primarily, but I think you might get a bonus of thieves' tools. Hold
I
on.
thought it was a check on the thieves' tools proficiency.
It probably is. It's being a bit. The set into. Yeah. Okay, so. Okay, it's essentially. That's hilarious. Probably works the same way, but I don't think you set up your sheet for it. Let me just take a quick peek at your skills. Okay. If you want to just, I'm gonna just say sleight of hand because it actually works out to being almost the exact same.
16.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really a very complicated lock. I mean, it's just in a, just a normal old inn. So after, a little bit of effort, you would eventually, after kind of getting the lockpick stuck a couple times, you would eventually manage to, hear the lock just kind of click and open.
Okay. So, can I creak the door open and see if anybody is in there?
Yeah, absolutely.
What do I...
Well, actually, I'm gonna ask for a perception check. Okay. That's kind of funny. You do in fact see somebody in there,
Oh,
but what you see is somebody who is in fact hiding under the bed. Let me just get this so I can reveal them.
like, did they know that I was here, or? But I'm confused now.
You're not really sure, but you've at least spotted them hiding under the bed.
So they see me and I see them.
No, they haven't seen you yet.
Can I slither into the room with a stealth check?
Yeah, go for it.
Oh my god.
Okay. Yeah, no, he's completely unaware of you being there.
All right. So then I creep to this wall, and I just put my ear to this wall. And then
Okay.
I want to, like, a big PP super focus. And can I hear him doing anything in that room?
Yeah, you can hear him pretty much over and over again repeating a phrase that you would not recognize being as common. And it definitely, considering the way he keeps repeating it over and over again, it's almost like it's something he's just saying to try to calm himself down.
So I don't have a means to write anything down. Is this
You can try
something
to
that I
memorize it.
could stick? Okay, how do I roll to memorize what he's saying?
I guess just give me a straight intelligence, we'll say.
A save in intelligence?
I think you should be able to do checks too. Let me just see.
I just see a save.
Oh, that's weird. I thought you could do, yeah, okay, just give me a history then. We'll just go with that.
Ah! No.
Okay. You memorize part of it.
Okay.
The main word that you memorize is just the one word that you would actually recognize, which was common, which is, the word hag.
Hag?
Hag.
Hag.
Yep.
Okay. I don't know if you want to jump to somebody else right now, because I feel like I'm picking up a good time slot.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's go to the people out here. So, Elnira and Kai.
I don't think there's anything more I need to know from Melnera right now.
Okay.
So,
Do you go to the room or?
Yeah, it would be getting
Yeah.
definitely kind of in the evening hours of things. So
right. Is there any indication on the key as to what room it would belong to?
I think I just lagged a bit. Sorry. What was that?
I was
You
asking if,
have a room number.
yeah, if the key has a room number on it or something.
Yeah, it would have a matching room, for sure. The one you would see would be the one for down here.
Number
The
3.
blue room.
Okay.
Wait, which one was it? Ping it again,
Oh,
please.
the one in the bottom left there.
Ah, okay.
Number
Okay.
3.
Right. Elnara, what is your plan for tomorrow?
At this point, I'm not entirely sure. I don't even know if it's possible for me to find the rest of my group. So, I would like to explore a little bit. Maybe take a look at some of the fauna and plants and all that stuff that's around here. Fauna and flora.
May I join you?
Of course.
Fantastic. All right then. I will retreat for the night. I'll see you tomorrow.
Sounds like it. I'll meet you down here.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Syl heads back out of his room, locks the door, and sees the little, the skinny blue guy walking by, and says, "Night, y'all. I gotta do the cleanup in the bar. Help Julian with the cleanup, and then I'm gonna head for bed. There's a restroom, washroom right over there, and I don't know if there's a bathroom, bathing room or not. So
Thank you very much. Blessings on you. And I touch your shoulder, and I will actually cast guidance on you. So for the next minute, if you do any skill check, you have an extra four-sided die for it.
Yep. Extra D4.
Exactly.
I walk. Do I know which room is mine, or can I just commandeer a room a random one?
Judging by the marking on the key, yours would actually be this one.
I wave. Well, nobody's in the hall at this point, so I just make myself in my room and lock my door and lock my window and simply lay down in the bed, sighing, wondering if my team that I disappeared from is doing okay.
No, I'm doing fine.
I don't give a shit about you. Go away.
Okay.
My window is still open. I will not close it.
All right. Yeah, and I would say, you know, the most of the remainder of the evening does seem to go by, I would say, fairly, you know, uneventfully, except for maybe what is going on in here, where, you know, and Syl, I guess, this is just kind of to fast forward everything a little bit. So Syl would, I'm assuming, eventually retire back to his room. And they would kind of lock up for the evening. So I'm just going to pluck them in a couple bedrooms just to get them out of the way.
So Syl put the lizard man's key back on the table.
Okay. So...
Didn't see him, so maybe he left the building.
Okay. And still being completely unaware of Quezcheck being there, he would eventually, this figure would climb out from under the bed and as carefully and as quietly as he could would start to creep out of the room.
While he gets to the door, can I attempt to pickpocket the man?
Yeah, go for it. You can sleight of hand him.
If
Um,
do I get advantage because like he didn't know I was there?
you know what? I mean, I'm gonna say sure, just because he is like focused on being stealthy right now, and he had no idea you were there. So yeah, what the hell?
Hell yeah!
All right. Okay. With that, you would manage to find a scroll in his pocket, which is kind of tied closed, and you know, he just continues to make his way down the hallway.
I rifle through this chest.
Okay. I mean, the chest, I'm gonna say, was locked, but just to save some time, I'm going to assume that you're just gonna pick the lock. So, inside the chest would be a change of clothes, just like normal traveling clothes. It's just like a brown cloak and, you know, some linen pants, that kind of thing. Nothing really too crazy. A linen shirt. And you would find 2 gold coins.
Hell yeah!
Shiny.
So I guess I don't know anything about like the room situation, so I would do the same quote-unquote movements and slither out my door.
Okay.
And then come back to find that my pumpkin is completely destroyed and make the most loud guttural cry I could possibly do as if my friend had been murdered.
And with that, everybody would hear the mournful wails of the lizard man discovering his massacred pumpkin.
I literally roll my eyes knowing what the fuck is going on and not caring enough to look out.
I jump out of. Syl jumps out of bed and opens the door to see the little lizard guy crying over the broken pumpkin.
Don't give
And
him
if you're-
attention, you'll encourage him. I yell
Well-
from my room.
It's around this time that you guys hear a crash sound coming from outside of and into the bar. Heavy footsteps inside the bar as the doors were kicked open. And eventually...
I yeet down the hallway.
Okay.
I have my back against the window.
Okay. And these three figures would begin marching down the hallway. Still,
Syl pulls out his great sword when he sees intruders and
well,
yells at them.
well, Syl would recognize these three figures as members of the guard. Specifically, this man for sure, and then the other two that are trailing behind him.
Who are you looking for?
Well, we heard a loud noise as we were making our patrol nearby, but we're actually here to apprehend somebody. So, if you don't mind,
Okay.
we got somebody we want for questioning.
I hear them talking outside my door, so I be the nosy little gnome that I am. I open my door and stand at the doorway, just watching.
Did I hear this?
Oh yeah, you would have heard it.
Can I get out the window?
Well, that depends. How are you getting out of the window? Are you
Is
just
there
opening
even
the
a window
or-
there?
Yes,
Yeah.
there is.
Yeah,
I
these
can
are
roll
windows.
for it.
I mean, you could totally dive through the window or open it or whatever.
Panic! Blind panic!
Okay. Well, alright, so you very quietly manage to kind of just, slide that window open real quick and just kind of like hop out. And I'm going to send you. Well, hold on, let me just reveal a little bit more for you so you can actually see where you're going. Okay. That's pretty much the edge of the map, so.
I stay close
okay.
enough to where I can still hear.
Alright. So they would come marching through. They proceed to kick open that door, and there's a bit of a scuffle. Most of you guys hear some loud noises, and it sounds like he tried to put up a bit of a fight, but they eventually managed to subdue their prisoner, and they clasp him in irons and proceed to drag him out.
Murder them all.
I, at this point, have immigrated out of my room a little bit, and I'm looking really confused.
Okay.
Syl follows him.
Alright.
Is everything okay? I ask. Did he hurt somebody?
Well, we just want him for some questioning. Just stay in your room.
Can I go to somebody else's room that isn't the creepy guy that you're pulling out?
That's just
She's
What do you
testing
mean?
boundaries. She wants to go talk to the tiefling.
I don't. You're probably best staying in the room. There's somebody's being there's been a bit of a thing. Just stay here for your own safety. We're gonna have somebody outside for your protection.
For my protection, should I be concerned?
And with that, he doesn't answer your question. He just continues to drag the wizard off for questioning. And quiz check.
Yeah, Karen is awake for the night.
Yep. Yeah, you guys would have gotten in a little bit of a rest. Oh, perfect. Okay, so let me just reveal this. Bloop.
So the lizard guy will probably be able to see him. Okay.
Yes, quiz check would be able to see this body here.
Do I recognize the body?
No. How would you be able... You're not even from this time era.
Right, but this man who slithered out of this room and then went outside, and I had no idea where he went. So I don't know. Maybe he was around under the bed.
Well, that's actually who it was.
Ha
So,
Skills of deduction.
You can at least tell he's wearing the same clothing, but it's kind of hard to tell with all the blood because it looks like he's being ripped apart by some kind of wild animal.
Syl goes to the front door and picks up the locking beam and puts it locking the front door.
Okay. Alright. That the two guards would, remain, and it's not like there's more guards on the way. Thankfully, the guard captain is entirely too distracted with his prisoner and just kind of continues to drag the unconscious man off.
So does the little lizard guy climb back through the window or what?
That is up to you guys on what you're doing.
With my little pitter-patter feet, can I, crawl back into here and then make my way up to What's-His-Face's room?
Yep.
And since it's been kicked in, just eat myself in there?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And then
Inside the room would be, wall to wall, insane scribbles, floor to ceiling.
does any of them have that little word that I remember in Hag?
Not really. It almost kind of just seems like a string of gibberish. Doesn't really seem to be about anything in particular that you can derive from what he was putting together.
Then can I rifle through this chest?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Again, for the sake of, my own sanity, because eventually you're just going to break your way in. We'll assume that you managed to pull it off. And inside would be a spare set of clothes, a bag of 25 gold, and a journal.
I take the gold to journal.
Okay.
So that's 117 gold now?
Cool.
Only 2.
Yeah, well, he's also a thief, and I need to stop the recording.
Yep.
So, be right back.